to 10 का structure है उसमें कोई major changes आए हैं? No, there are no major changes. The reason being ISO के जितने भी standards हैं, those of you who have ISO background, they know that clause 4 to 10 is similar across all the ISO standards. So you pick 9001, 22301, 20000, 27701, कोई भी आप standard ISO का pick कर लो, they have a typical structure of 4 to 10 except 27701, उसमें clauses कम है. But otherwise, ISO has a typical structure from 4 to 10. आपके even the names are the same, it's just that the content is different for obvious reasons. So what ISO is doing, they are trying to align ISO 27001 with the existing one. So what they have done from clause 4 to 10, there are only few minor changes. No requirements have been removed, no requirements have been deleted. It's just that they have fine-tuned a bit, plus कुछ उन्होंने थोड़ी सी उसमें addition किया. So what are those additions? The first one is in your clause number 4.2, they have added an other sub clause, which is your 4.2c. So this is where it says that you have interested parties जो आप identify करते हो in clause 4.2. Now, how you are going to address their requirements through ISMS. This was the missing part earlier. So in the 2013 version, it used to say you need to identify your interested parties. That's it. But now they have an additional requirements that, okay, you have identified your interested parties, how you are going to address their requirements through ISMS. So that is something. And I know many of you guys who are pre-expert, they already used to do this thing. Even when I used to go to any customer, we use a similar thing. Why we are identifying those interested.
Welcome to Global Information Security Society for Professionals of Pakistan.
Right. Thank you very much. बहुत शुक्रिया everybody who is going to join this call as well as who will hear this session later on. My name is Hafiz. I tried to make this session both in Urdu and English because primarily हमारी जो audience है, we are expecting to have Urdu speaking audience. तो इंशाल्लाह मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि उर्दू और इंग्लिश दोनों में करूँ. At times प्रॉब्लम ये आता है कि because जो ISO की हमारी जो technical language है that's primarily in English, तो वो at times थोड़ा सा difficult हो जाता है उसको flow को continue करना. But इंशाल्लाह I try कि इसको हम उर्दू और इंग्लिश दोनों में करें. This session is exclusively designed in coordination with Gispp, जो हमारी Global Information Security का platform है. So thank you to Shazad bhai and all the founders and administrators that we have for this whole platform. The topic I'm going to discuss is about ISO 27001 2022. Reason ये है कि we have new version of 2022 just a month ago. तो बहुत सारी misconceptions हैं, बहुत सारी doubts हैं market में, especially for the organizations के transition का क्या होगा. Even for those individuals जो ISO certified हैं, most of you I know are already ISO certified as a auditor or implementer. So there's always a question कि हमारी certificate का क्या होगा, is it going to expire, obsolete हो जाएगी, हम transition कर सकते हैं. So the reason for choosing this session was कि let's have a clear-cut session for all the Gispp members, जिसमें हम discuss कर सकें first of all what are the new changes we have in the new 2022 version, और उसके अलावा how you can do the transition to the new version. So yeah, this is the whole background of this session. Inshallah, this session is going to be recorded. As I said, and it will be available on YouTube. So those of you who are not available, वो बाद में session को सुन सकते हैं. To start with, let me see. I think Shazad bhai, if you want to start the session, or should I continue? If you want to take 30 seconds.
No, please continue.
All right, fine. So just a bit of my background. मेरा नाम हाफिज है. I started my career from Lahore. So मैं लाहौर पाकिस्तान से हूँ. back in 2005 मैंने QMD से start किया. Then I worked with Nexon Technologies. उसके बाद मैंने SSI में भी काम किया लाहौर में. Then I moved to UAE back in 2011, and this is where I actually transitioned myself from a quality engineer or test engineer to the GRC side or information security side. So overall, it's been like 17 years in the market. Alhamdulillah. Core experience जो है मेरा ये expertise है, that is more on the GRC side, risk management, compliance, auditing, business continuity, information security, cybersecurity, etc. But on the compliance side, मैं tool specific नहीं हूँ, so मैं tools के ऊपर काम नहीं करता. I'm more on a process oriented person. And then I have also worked on data privacy, especially जब से GDPR आया. Those of you who are familiar with GDPR and data privacy laws, so since 2018, I'm also working on data protection and data privacy, because again, it comes under the umbrella of GRC if you see as a bigger picture. In terms of my qualifications, I'm a certified DPO. I am a lead auditor, lead implementer for many of the ISO standards. जो हमारे market में, like we are pretty much in use of those ISO standards. जिसमें 20,000 है, 27,001 है आपका information security का. We have ISO 22301, which is for business continuity. We have ISO 27005, 31,000. So all the related GRC related जितने भी ISO standards, I'm pretty much certified in those. As an implementer as well as lead auditor. Uske alawa, of course, I'm a certified ISACA COBIT assessor. I'm not just COBIT certified, but I'm certified from ISACA to do assessments on COBIT frameworks which we have. In terms of my accreditations, I'm PCB certified trainer for the last 9 to 10 years, alhamdulillah. And I have a good news to share as well. For me, at least, it's I would say a privileged news. And I hope so that you guys are also going to enjoy that news with me as well. So I'm a PCB certified trainer, and I'm also being awarded as CISO of the year 2021 and 2022 in the UAE. Recently, I moved to Australia, for those who are not aware of this one. So now I'm in Australia for the last 5 to 6 months, again working as an advisor and consultant related to GRC stuff that we have. I'm a public speaker, so I do a lot of workshops, webinars. I attend conferences as public speaker. I also write articles, so you might have seen my pictures on ISACA website for different articles, etc. So yeah, that's a bit of my background. The good news which I personally want to share with all of you, kahin pe bhi break nahi ki break. The news is that this year I've been awarded as PCB Certified Trainer of the Year, which is something really, really prestigious in a sense that out of 6,000 to 7,000 PCB certified trainers, this is something which is really, really amazing. Okay. And मुझे personally इसमें ज़्यादा अच्छा लगा. It's not my personal achievement. It was, अगर आप PCB की history देखें तो I think I'm the first or second Muslim. उससे बढ़ के ये कि I'm the first Pakistani. तो मुझे उसकी ज़्यादा खुशी हुई कि it's not my personal achievement. And this is all because of those people who have been trained through me. ये उनका feedback होता है, उनका जो आप reviews देते हो. Those of you who have done training with me, based on that, they judge. And of course, they have their own criteria. So I'm so glad, I'm so happy that I've been awarded with PCB Trainer of the Year 2022. And there was an event which happened last week in Europe. I didn't get a chance to go there, but yeah, I mean, this was something which was announced there. And soon they are going to publish this on their social media as well. So this is something which I really wanted to share with you guys. In terms of my company, so I have a small startup with the name of AZAAN CYBERTECH Consulting. So we started somewhere around back in 2018 from Europe, and then we have one setup in the UAE now. It's a physical setup we have in Dubai. We have one office there, and now since I moved to Australia, so we have also set up one office here in Australia. छोटी टीम है, But alhamdulillah, it's going good for us. We have clients in more than 20 countries. जो हमारे major clients हैं, they are primarily in the Middle East. I have done few projects in Pakistan, or Europe में काफी ज़्यादा काम किया alhamdulillah. So we have like customers from 20 countries regarding different projects. We have been accredited to 9 different certification bodies and accreditation bodies. उसके अलावा we have partnerships with more than 9 to 10 companies जिनके साथ हमने collaboration किया हुआ है. Even Pakistan में भी we have a few collaborations जिनके साथ we are working on different ISO standards and trainings and stuff like that. अगर मैं सिर्फ training portfolio की बात करूं, which is one of our largest portfolio, and I'm going to mention that in the next few minutes as well. So in terms of training, we have done training with more than 200 plus delegates, and this is the data from last year. इस साल में हमने बहुत इससे ज़्यादा training किया. So, but if I talk in December 2021, we had done trainings for more than 200 plus delegates, which is more than 1,000 plus hours of trainings, and we issued around 6,000 plus CPEs. अगर मैं Gispp की बात करूं, out of these 200 plus, so we had 1/5 of the people from Gispp. So alhamdulillah, Gispp के साथ जब से हमने collaboration किया, and we spoke to Shazad bhai, and he was very kind enough कि हाँ, okay, you can use this platform. और उसकी सिर्फ एक ही reason थी, when I spoke to him 2 years ago, कि don't quote them as a commercial fee, offer them on the cost to cost basis. चाहे वो afford कर सकते हैं, नहीं कर सकते हैं, even if it's even in the US or in Pakistan, try to offer them on cost to cost basis. और उसका हमें अच्छा response भी आया. So as I said, out of 200 plus delegates, more than 40, और ये number हमारे पास last year है. इस साल अगर मैं आपके साथ I can share those numbers after December, but हमने बहुत ज़्यादा alhamdulillah training किया with Gispp members और बहुत अच्छा feedback हुआ. So this is again something which I wanted to highlight कि हम सिर्फ customers हमारे पास market में नहीं है, but we are also having people building the community जिसका हमें भी advantage है, of course, you know, people who get trained उनको भी advantage है. Why to choose AZAAN? We have expertise in compliance and certification, and I'm going to specify हमारे पास कौन सी expertise है. We have team of professionals. As I said, we have a small team, but they are all certified and they are all subject matter experts in their respective domains. So हमारे पास all-rounders नहीं है. We have professionals. We have skilled people who know their job. As I mentioned, like, if you ask me to do VAPD, I'm not the right person, but yes, we have a team who can do VAPD, and this is just one example for you guys to highlight this thing. जो एक चीज which is very very unique we have, and we feel so honored on this one, is we have the largest portfolio of accredited training programs. इसका क्या मतलब है कि हम कोई भी आप हमारे साथ किसी भी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम पे जाओगे, we don't offer any local customized training materials. All our training programs are accredited with certification bodies through globally recognized organizations. इसीलिए the cost is on the higher side because they are accredited and you get global certifications which are recognized worldwide. So we have more than 200 plus, I can say, training programs to offer, training and certification programs. And
एक मिनट रुकेंगे.
जी.
या गाइस अपने को म्यूट कर लो प्लीज, आप लोग इतना डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हो कुछ लोग.
थैंक यू.
अदनान भाई प्लीज मेक मी को होस्ट ताकि मैं किसी को या निकाल सकूं या मैं उसको म्यूट कर सकूं. कुछ लोग मूव कर रहे हैं और उसको माइक ऑफ नहीं किया.
I understand. So
please continue.
Just a second, let me make you. There's a option to make you host. There's no option to make you co-host, but anyways, I'm going to make you host so you can manage all this.
मसला नहीं है. अगर आप दोबारा से शो रहा है तो आप उसको बंदे को कर दीजिएगा.
Oh, okay. So I
please continue.
I think मैंने आपको host बनाया तो मेरी screen disable हो गई है.
आप किससे शेयर कर दो, वो कोई बात नहीं. I can make you back.
I'm unable to share it. Sorry.
एक सेकंड. ठीक है, आप होस्ट हो दोबारा से, आप कर लो.
Thank you.
Or I think again, let's continue to the actual stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So coming back to the point, as I said, we have one of the largest portfolio of accredited training programs. अगर आप हमसे expect करोगे कि हम आपको we are going to provide you with any local materials जो सिर्फ हम produce करते हैं, no, we don't have any local materials. You get everything from accredited training certification and globally organizations that we have. Of course, best quality service, and last but not the least, जो हम जिसके ऊपर हमारा focus होता है वो होता है ethics and transparency. If I can do something, if my team can do, we will commit. If we don't have the ability, if we don't have the right skills, we will say no. We are not going to take up project for the sake of money. I still remember when we do trainings, and as I mentioned, because we are offering you accredited training programs, sometimes people say, "Yeah, आपकी pricing ज़्यादा है, कोई और company है, they're offering us at a much cheaper price." The reason is we give you guys from day one के it is coming through this certification body, ये उसका procedure होगा, this is how you are going to receive your materials, this is how you're going to do the exam. We give you a clear picture, and then it's up to the participant or to the organization if they want to go with us with that sort of pricing and with that sort of commitment. Those companies, I don't want to name anyone, or everyone, of course, is pretty respectful to us, but they have their own way of marketing and they have their own way of dealing with the customers and participants. But sometimes ऐसा हुआ है कि we had participants, I'm not referring to just, but from other companies who came to us and they say we paid this much of dollars and still we didn't get the right amount of training materials or the right kind of training materials or the kind of service which we were expecting. So हमारा day one से है कि we have to be transparent in our dealings with the customers, चाहे वो training program हो 2 दिन का या वो 6 महीने का project है, we are very transparent and so that we are pretty ethical in our dealings with our customers and with our participants. जी शिजाक भाई.
मैंने कहा 20 मिनट हो गए, let's start the actual topic. So आपका
don't worry, I have 1 hour, so I'm finishing 45 minutes and then I'll keep the session open for question and answers.
Please continue.
Yeah. In terms of our services, we have 5 major services to offer. The first one is our assessment services. So we do assessments based on different frameworks and standards. Just primarily we focus on ISO standards, plus your local laws and regulations. Just the UAE Canada, we have ISR, we have AZAAN and CIMA, etc. Similarly, in Saudi Arabia, we have, plus we have other guidelines like NIST, COVID, ITIL, so we do assessment services based on those guidelines and standards. Then we do consulting services based on, again, all these standards and the guidelines that we have. As I said, we don't offer tools, we don't sell any specific products. We are pretty specific on the GRC side and on the process side of the of your organization. And then this is our training portfolio, which I mentioned we have one of the largest accredited training portfolio in the region, and we are pretty proud of that. So we have trainings starting from your information security to your cybersecurity, cloud security. We have training around your business continuity management, GRC, data privacy, quality management. And last year, which I can see that probably we are not able to market it so far, is your next generation programs. So this is where we have trainings around digital transformation, your DevOps, blockchain, AI, machine learning, and these are all vendor neutral. ये Microsoft की या Amazon की training नहीं है. These are all vendor neutral, more from process point of view, more from managed services point of view, okay, how you are going to understand what is AI, for example, how you can implement that one from a concept point of view. Similarly, we have trainings around big data, service-oriented architecture. We have training programs on cloud computing and innovation. And if you ask me, the starting price is only $50 plus. So this is the starting price of all these training programs specifically. They're not expensive. You can choose how you want to go with these training programs. You can buy book only. You can by exam voucher only. So it's up to you, especially for these next generation programs. It's very interesting. मैंने खुद भी एक दो इनकी training programs attend भी किए हैं, मैंने खुद भी certification किए, बहुत detailed है, and they give you very good insights about the kind of digital transformation या आपकी जो blockchain के ऊपर है या AI के ऊपर. They are very interesting, certification programs that we have on this one. So I would, I mean, if anyone is interested to look into these kind of training programs, just let me know and we can work out on that one. इसके अलावा we do offer audit and certification services. So if you want to go for internal audits or external audits, if your organization wants to get certified, so we can offer those external certifications as well. These are accreditations. As I said, we are accredited throughout all the major and recognized certification bodies and organizations like PCB. We have gold partners and now. Then we also have partnership with Archicla, TUB. In Australia, we have partnered with Australian Cybersecurity Center. So these are the accreditations that we have. And one last thing before I move to the actual topic, recently we have partnered with PECB University. So those of you who are already PECB certified, this is their chance to upgrade your certifications into MBA programs. So they offer 3 kinds of MBAs. One is in cybersecurity, risk management, and information security, or business continuity, 4. So those of you who are already ISO certified from PECB, you can use this one to take and you can convert it into your MBA programs. And these MBA programs are again globally recognized. It is approved by High Commission, so HEC of USA kind of you can say. So again, it's very interesting program. I'm thinking to apply for myself as well. So if you or anyone of you who is already ISO certified from PECB, let me know and we can design the whole roadmap for you guys, how you can convert your ISO certificates into MBA program. So this is something which we have recently partnered with them, I think just 2 weeks ago. So this is another important thing which we have achieved as a milestone. Okay. These are some of the reviews, alhamdulillah, from the participants, and yeah, this is a bit about me and our organization. Now, coming back to the topic, which is ISO 27001. And as I said, the reason for choosing this topic was there were a lot of doubts. There were a lot of questions, even from the Gispp members and even from the clients, what would be the status of our certificate in the future as an individual and as an organization. So that was the reason we said, okay, let's have a webinar for the community to see what are the changes, first of all, and how you can do your transition very smoothly to the new standard. So from an ISO 27001 point of view, I'm not going into the history of 27001 because then it's a different ball game. But ISO 27000K under, if I have to divide the new changes, that is divided into 4 main parts. The first one is your structural change. The second is your changes in clause 4 to 10. Those of you who are familiar with ISO structure, they know we have something called clause 4 to 10, and then we have Annex A. Major changes are in your Annex A. This is a major change, but otherwise there are no major changes actually. Market में बहुत सारी rumors है कि पता नहीं clause 4 to 10 change हो गया है और उसमें कुछ नया आ गया है, कुछ remove हो गया. As such कुछ नहीं है. Changes जो primary changes हैं वो आपकी Annex A के अंदर है. And the last one would be how we can do the transition. Okay, so to start with the structural changes, सबसे पहला change तो ये कि document का नाम change हुआ है, which is 27001. So in 2013 version, it was primarily focusing on information security management system, that's it, ISMS. The first change is that they have introduced information security, cyber security, and privacy protection. अब बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन यहाँ से which when I went through social media and people ask if we have separate management systems for data privacy, which is 27701. Some of you might be familiar with this number, but ISO has 2 standards. One is for cybersecurity, which is 27032. Some of you are already certified, I know. and one is 27701, which is privacy management system. So what does that mean? क्या ISO ने वो सब इसके अंदर merge कर दी है? नहीं. The answer is no, absolutely no. The only thing which ISO has done is they're referring that you should have cybersecurity controls in place. अब उसको implement करने के लिए, then you can refer to 27032. Similarly, we have a couple of new controls with regards to PII or data privacy. But उनको implementation कैसे करनी है? For that, you have to go back to 27701. 27001 के अंदर they don't specify this that you have to refer to 27032 or 27701, but that is pretty much understood that if you are going to implement data privacy specific controls, either you can refer to your local laws and regulations, just say UAE के अंदर we have data privacy law, or if you fall under GDPR, आप GDPR को follow करोगे. But if you want to if you don't want to follow any specific laws and you want to go with ISO standards, this is where we have ISO 27701, and same goes with your cybersecurity. So from a name, yes, it has been changed. They are referring to cybersecurity and data privacy, because if you see, and those of you who attended my last webinar, I think with Gispp, we discussed information security is a bigger umbrella. Uski under you have cyberspace and cybersecurity and your data privacy and everything. So information security is a bigger umbrella. Isi cheez ko I think ISO ne pick kiya hai, and they are now, when they talk about ISMS or information security management system, they are actually talking about your cloud computing, your cybersecurity, your data privacy, etc. So this is the first change. Now again, the second question, इसका implementation पे क्या impact होगा? कोई impact नहीं है. It's just the name of the document change. So in your existing documents, from the name of the title, you don't have to do anything. जैसे आपके documents हैं, you keep it as it is. Second change is clause 4 to 10. Again, there were a lot of questions and there are a lot of discussions के शायद ISO ने जो clause 4 to 10 का structure है उसमें कोई major changes आए हैं. No, there are no major changes. The reason being, ISO के जितने भी standards हैं, those of you who have ISO background, they know that clause 4 to 10 is similar across all the ISO standards. So you pick 9001, 22301, 20000, 27701, कोई भी आप standard ISO का pick कर लो, they have a typical structure of 4 to 10, except 27701, उसमें clauses कम है. But otherwise, ISO has a typical structure from 4 to 10. आपके even the names are the same, it's just that the content is different for obvious reasons. So what ISO is doing, they are trying to align ISO 27001 with the existing one. So what they have done from clause 4 to 10, there are only few minor changes. No requirements have been removed, no requirements have been deleted. It's just that they have fine-tuned a bit, plus कुछ उन्होंने थोड़ी सी उसमें addition किया. So what are those additions? The first one is in your clause number 4.2, they have added an other sub clause, which is your 4.2c. So this is where it says that you have interested parties जो आप identify करते हो in clause 4.2. Now, how you are going to address their requirements to ISMS. This was the missing part earlier. So in the 2013 version, it used to say you need to identify your interested parties. That's it. But now they have an additional requirements that, okay, you have identified your interested parties, how you are going to address their requirements to ISMS. So that is something. And I know many of you guys who are pre-expert, they already used to do this thing. Even when I used to go to any customer, we use a similar thing. Why we are identifying those interested parties? Because they have certain requirements from you, which you are going to address to ISMS. So those of you who are already doing this thing, good enough, but otherwise it's just a small change that you identify your interested parties, and now you have to add another column that how you are going to address their issues or requirements to ISMS. Number second change is planning of changes. This is already there in other ISO standards. So that is why ISO has added this one, just to make sure that it is pretty much aligned with other ISO standards. 8.1, again, it was already there. They have just made it a little bit more clear, establishing criteria for processes and implementing controls for them, because before implementation of controls, you do your risk assessment in clause number 6. And as a result of risk assessment, what do? You identify your controls from Annex A, for example. So this is what they're saying, that you have to establish that criteria. It was already there. They have just made it a bit more specific, like how you are going to implement those controls, which you have identified, which you are going to implement as a result of risk assessments. And the last one is 932C, management review inputs. Now, sometimes people think that this is a major requirement. It was already there. So if you see in 2013 version, we have a requirement management review in clause number 9. And in management review, it says when you are going to do management reviews, you have to consider it, the following points. So now what they have done is they've made it as a separate subclause, but otherwise the requirements are the same. There would be no major changes in your documents. There would be no major changes in your management review meetings and evidences and minutes of meetings and documents which you are going to capture and you are going to create. So from 4 to 10, as I said, there are no major changes. Nothing has been removed. Nothing has been deleted. These are all misconceptions के शायद कुछ change हो गया है. We are going to have a completely 180-degree kind of documents, nothing as such. Whatever you have right now, it's just you have to find with these minor changes, which for me is a 1 week's job. That's it. इससे ज़्यादा का काम नहीं है. Okay. जो major changes हैं, this is where your Annex A comes into picture, which is actually mapped with your 27002. So in the earlier version, those of you who have worked on 2013 version, we used to have 14 domains from A5 to A18. वो domains का concept खत्म हो गया. So what they have done, they have introduced the concept and they're using the same terminology clauses, and they have reduced to 4 clauses. And the concept behind these 4 clauses is your people, process, technology, and physical controls. So 3 P's and 1 T. This is how you can remember, for example. So instead of having 14 domains, again, if you see those 14 domains, it was actually addressing the same thing. That you have your physical controls, you used to have your technical controls, administrative and legal controls, etc. Now they have merged into 4 domains of 4 clauses. So your A5 is your organizational controls. Organizational controls are basically your policies, procedures, legal requirements, compliance requirements, etc. This is the major chunk of your new ISO 27001. We have 37 controls. Out of these 37 controls, there are 3 new controls, baki merge hue hain. Then we have A6, which is people control. These are basically the same controls which we used to have earlier, human resources, 8.7. So those of you who know human resource security, yeah, they have rephrased it and they have just tried to make it a bit more simpler, etc. But again, there are no major changes in that. Then we have physical controls. Again, it was already there, 8.11, if you recall. So again, there are 2 new controls in this one, which they have introduced. But overall, there are no major changes. And then you have your technological controls. This is where they have introduced 6 to 7 new controls. So configuration management is a new one, threat intelligence is a new one, web filtering is a new one. So this is your major chunk, again, from a technical point of view. This is where all your network and access controls and these kind of controls come into picture. This is just to give you an idea. So in terms of domains, as I said, now it has reduced to 4, 11 new controls, merged. We have 23 mergers. From 51, they have merged into 23 and 59 updated controls. Now, many times when I spoke in the last 1.5 months, people said there have been controls which are removed. This is absolutely, sorry to say, bullshit. There are no controls which have been removed. Controls उसी टाइम पे remove होंगे अगर आपका risk नहीं है. If you have the risk, you need a control or you need a compensatory control or you're going to accept the risk. in 2022 versions, there is not a single control which has been removed. I think I forgot to add that one here. So remember, yes, controls merged हुए हैं, new controls have been added, controls update हुए हैं, but no control has been removed. If somebody is going to tell you, he is giving you something, I don't know what should I say, but this is not the right concept. कोई भी कंट्रोल रिमूव नहीं हुआ, कोई भी कंट्रोल डिलीट नहीं हुआ, यहाँ से मर्ज हुए हैं, इंट्रोडक्शन हुई है न्यू कंट्रोल्स की, अपडेट किए हैं, दे हैव चेंज्ड द वर्ड्स, उसको फाइन ट्यून किया है स्टेटमेंट्स को आईजो ने, बट कंट्रोल रिमूव नहीं हुआ. दिस इज वन ऑफ द मेजर मिसकंसेप्शन आई हैव सीन ओवर द लास्ट 1.5 months, but from an ISO perspective, no controls have been deleted or removed. So in total, we have 93 controls as compared to the earlier 114 controls that we used to have. These are the new controls. So in organizational controls, as I said, we have 3 new controls. One is threat intelligence. I'm not going into these details because then it's a separate discussion. We have controls around cloud services, and then we have controls around business continuity. Business continuity domain was already there, but they have introduced a new control which is about readiness for business continuity. Then we have one control in your physical controls, which is physical security monitoring. It was not there earlier. It used to say that yes, you should have physical security parameters and stuff like that, but this is a new control, like how you are going to have physical monitoring and how you are going to have physical security around your organization. And then the major chunk is included in your technical controls, starting from configuration management, information deletion, DNP, masking, monitoring of the activities, web filtering, secure coding, etc., etc. So these are the controls which are added in your technological controls. So as I said, nothing has been removed. Yes, new additions definitely we have. Another important thing which in Annex A, you will not find, but once you go to find the details of Annex A controls in 27002, now 27002 structure has been changed drastically. This is a major change. It's a separate guideline, of course, but अगर आप इसकी details में जाओगे, because जब हम Annex A की implementation या guidance देखते हैं, so we refer to 27002. उसके अंदर we have major changes. Structure of document has changed, number 1. So आपको वो सीधी straight forward आपको guidance नजर नहीं आएगी. Yes, there are guidelines, but the structure of that document has changed in a bigger way. So your 27002 का structure है, that is divided into 3 main parts. One is your clauses, of course, your A5 to A8, which I just mentioned. Then ISO ने introduce किए हैं 2 new concepts. One is called themes and attributes, and the second one is called control layout. So पहले क्या होगा, if you have seen 2013, so you have your control, उसकी description, and then guidance straight away. That is why if you recall your 2013 document had 27002 का, वो it's like around 60-70 pages, that's it. But the new document of 27002, that's around 160-170 pages. The reason is they have introduced new concept. One is your themes and attributes, and the other one is your control layout. Ab themes and attributes kya hai? That is basically your 5 components. The first one is the control type kya hai? So for example, is it related to, is it a preventive control, detective, or corrective control? So this is first they have introduced कि जो भी आप control implement कर रहे हो, let's say data masking. So is it a preventive control, is it a corrective control, or detective control? ठीक है, तो वो उसकी उन्होंने they have given you the type of that control. The second one is what is the property of that control? Property in a sense के is it going to address the confidentiality aspect, integrity aspect, या availability aspect, या all of them. You know, so again coming back to data masking. So what is the property of this control? ये आपके organization की किस चीज को address करेगा? Confidentiality of information, आपकी availability या integrity को. Then they have introduced cybersecurity concept. ये cybersecurity concept, those of you who have worked on NIST cybersecurity framework, they are actually, I would not say taken, but actually derived from the same concept. कि cybersecurity के कौन से concept को you are going to address through this control. So again, giving back the same example of data masking. So data masking is going to address which attribute or which concept of from a cybersecurity point of view. So is it going to address the identify part, protect, detect, respond, or recover? These are the 5 main elements we have in cybersecurity framework. Those of you who have worked on NIST, they are pretty much familiar with this concept. Then they have introduced operational capabilities. So what are the operational capabilities of this control? And the last one is your security domain. So which security domain you can put or you can align this control, for example, like from a governance point of view, from a protection point of view, defense point of view, resilience point of view. Now, again, इसके ऊपर एक बहुत बड़ी misconception है. People and even auditors and assessors think that this has to be there in your documents. No, it is not mandatory. Why? Because 27002 is your operation, is your guideline document. It's not the requirement document. So अगर आपने अपनी policies change करने हैं, if you are going to map with these themes and attributes good enough, this is going to help you and your organization. But this is not my requirement as an auditor कि आपकी जो data masking है, चाहे आपने उसके against ये attributes define किए हैं या नहीं किए. अगर नहीं किए तो it's going to be a non-conformity. No, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. This is for you guys, for your organization कि how you want to streamline, and for your management to understand which controls are preventive controls, which controls are going to address the corrective actions, which controls are going to address the detective part, etc. So this is purely helping you and your organization if you are going to follow these themes and attributes. But for me as an auditor, this is not the requirement. I'd be more interested to see कि आपने जो new controls हैं या जो updated controls हैं, उसको कैसे implement किया. And the last one is this is just one example to show you. So for example, you have policies for information security. Okay. And I took this one from 27002. So you see first one, what is control type? Preventive, detective, or corrective? What is the property of this control? Is it going to address the C part, I or A, or all of them, 2 of them, etc., etc.? Which cybersecurity concept you are going to address through this control? What is the operational capabilities, and which security domains you are going to refer? These are purely for your reference and for your organization. For me as an auditor, I'm not interested to see, okay, are you going to follow these themes and attributes? What I would be interested in, I'm sure most of you are auditors, we are interested to see कि हाँ आपने ये controls implement किए हैं या नहीं किए as per the requirements of the standard. Okay. And then this third part is your control layout. As I said, in 2022, you can see they have a detailed layout of all the controls, starting from the control title. Then what is the attribute table, which is this one. What is the control all about? What is the purpose? Why you want to implement this one? Then how you are going to implement, and any other reference to any other documents or guidelines or standards, etc. Previously, it was not the case. So those of you who have worked on 27002 2013 version, it was pretty simple. Control होता है, उसका objective और नीचे आपके पास guidance होती है या other information. But now it is much more detailed, and you can refer and you can go in more details to understand कि क्या purpose है, कैसे हम उसको implement कर सकते हैं. These are your organizational controls. Just very quickly, as I said, they are going to introduce policies and procedures, roles and responsibilities, and compliance, etc. A6 is about people control, which is your human resource security controls. So no major changes here. Then we have physical controls, which is your physical and environmental security controls. यहाँ पे they have introduced only one new control, which is physical security monitoring. And then you have technical controls. This is where you have a major chunk of new controls, almost 6 to 7 new controls we have. But in total, we have 34 controls. Most of them have been merged. Just like change management. has now become 1 instead of 5. There were 5 different change management related controls in 2013. Now all of them have been merged into 1. The changes of your infrastructure, applications, data, etc. So वो सब उन्होंने अब एक के अंदर merge कर दिया. So this is how sometimes people think के controls remove हो गए. Again, I'm repeating, this is a misconception. Controls remove एक भी नहीं हुआ. It's just that they have been merged, or they have introduced new controls, but there are no deletions or removal of the controls. Now, the transition period, which is again very, very important. So there are 2 things now, 2 scenarios. One is companies who are already ISO certified, उनका क्या status है? They have 3 years to do the transition, starting from October 25, then October 31st, 2025. You have 3 years to do the transition. So it's up to you. I mean, your organization. Companies who are in the process of implementing ISO 27001 on the previous version, they can still get certified on 2013. कोई ऐसा issue नहीं है उसके अंदर. They have 1 year to finish their certification on 2013 version, or they will have another 2 years to do the transition on the new version. So if you're working with a client who is already implementing 2013 version and they want to go with the 2013 version for audit, you can do that. There's no harm in that. So before October next year, you can get certified on 2013 version, but then you will have shorter period of 2 years to move to the new version. Coming to you guys as an individual, those of you who are already certified as a lead auditor and as a lead implementer, आपकी certification का क्या status होगा? I'll just get back to you in the next few minutes because we are running short of time. How we can help? We can help you from end to end as an organization, starting from your gap assessments to the risk assessment on the new version, or I'm going already एक दो clients के सामने ये शुरू भी कर दिया, and then we can fine tune your statement of applicability document, and then we can update your whole ISMS program based on the new structure. Of course, we might have to develop new policies and procedures based on the new controls in case if they are applicable, and we can do internal audits as well as external certification audits. Coming back to you guys as an individual who want to get certified or who are already ISO certified, uske liye every certification body gives you an option to do the transition to the new version. This is mandatory for auditors, not for implementers. I'll be very honest. I'll be very honest. Those of you who are lead implementers, if they want to do the transition on the new version, yes, you can go with our 2-day training program, but आपके लिए mandatory नहीं है. But yes, if you do it, good for you guys. Those of you who are auditors, they have to do the transition course. It's a 2-day training program, and you get a new certificate, which is 2022 version. Because after, as I said, after this time, you won't be able to do the audit on the new on the new standard. So for auditors, it is mandatory to do the transition program, but for implementers, it's your choice. If you want to do, we have a transition program coming up this weekend as well as in the weekdays. It's a 2-day training program. This is for the ones who are already ISO certified. But जो लोग ISO certified नहीं है, we are already offering the 4-day training program on the new standards. So 27001, 2022 versions for lead auditors, lead implementer, and other very interesting program which we have started now is lead manager on 27002, which is your guideline document. So how you can implement each and every control, themes, attributes का जो concept हमने discuss किया है, how you can address those requirements. So it's a very comprehensive training program, almost 500 pages, which talks only about 27002 and those 93 controls. So if you're interested, we can offer you guys that as well. But for the existing certified people, I would suggest you this is the right time, or you can go for the transition. 2 दिन का program है, 1 घंटे का exam है. Once you finish the training, it's 1-hour exam, multiple choice, and that's it. Last but not the least, for Gispp members, we also offer installment options. What I mean, it is a pretty common thing that it's not being sponsored by your organization. So in case if you want, we can make the payments in 3 installments, of course, without any interest. और alhamdulillah, we बहुत सारे ऐसे, we had participants who paid in chunks, which is absolutely fine. कोई ऐसा issue नहीं, because we do trust each other. So if you want, we can also make payments in 3 installments as well, only for just members. So the idea is that money should not stop you to upgrade and uplift your skills. So if you have any financial, limitations, we can make the payments in 2 to 3 installments as well. Right? Thank you very much. मैंने काफी बोल लिया. Now it's your turn. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I can see there are some questions in the chat. So let me know that how. So Jahanzeb asked, let me know one thing, that how it would be different from weekend batch training that is going to be held on 3, 4, and 5, 6 corresponding. No, there's no difference. Jahanzeb, ऐसा है कि कुछ हमारे पास requirements आई Europe से, primarily requirements आई. They want to do over weekdays. Of course, they are pretty busy over the weekend. So the course is the same. It's just that because we have multiple requirements, so we have one batch which is happening this weekend, inshallah, 3 and 4, and then we have another batch which is happening Monday, Tuesday. Course वही है, trainer मैं हूँ, सब कुछ वही है. It's just that based on different participant requests, इसलिए हम 2 batch back to back करें, because primarily हमें requirements जो आ रही है, request आ रही है वो Europe से आ रही है, because auditors want to upgrade and uplift their skills on the new version. So इसलिए. Okay, then Jawad asked, are these training customized by your company or these are based on international bodies training? No, ये सबसे पहले मैंने यही एड्रेस किया है जवाब भाई, हम कोई भी लोकल कस्टमाइज्ड ट्रेनिंग मटेरियल नहीं देते हैं. हमारी जितनी भी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स हैं, हम दोगे, we have more than 200 training programs to offer. वो सब accredited हैं through global organizations and certification bodies. तो आपको किसी भी ट्रेनिंग मटेरियल के ऊपर हमारा लोगो, नाम कुछ नजर नहीं आएगा. So these are all accredited. Then Tariq asked, what is the credibility of these vendor neutral training? Okay, no questions. Okay, so just in case if you guys are interested for ISO, this transition program, as I said, we are offering a very cost-to-cost basis. So let me know. We have 2 sessions coming up back to back. Inshallah, एक इस weekend पे है, Saturday, Sunday को. We usually start 10 or 11. And we finish by afternoon. Those of you who have already done training with us, they know how it happens. And then we have another session which is on Monday and Tuesday. But this is only for those who are already ISO certified. जो ISO certified नहीं है, they have to go with the normal 4-day training program, need auditors and need implementers, but on the new version. For us, 2013 is already finished. So if you want to get certified, we can offer you 4-day training program. If you are already ISO certified and you want to uplift and upgrade your skills to the new version, then we have this 2-day transition training program. For transition, can you please repeat, Umar, what exactly you want to know about the transition? So as I said, transition program उनके लिए है जो ISO certified है 2013 के ऊपर, and now they want to know क्या changes हुए हैं. So this is where we have the transition program. It's a 2-day training program, and then we have 1-hour exam. It's a multiple choice format conducted by PCB. हम लोग use का exam नहीं करते हैं. So, and you can do it online. So this is for the ones who are certified. Just certified नहीं है, then we have the normal 4-day lead implementer, lead auditors, and lead manager training program. Any other questions? No? So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Really appreciate. I know in the Middle East, it is evening time. I'm in Australia, but यहाँ पे सुबह के 2 बज रहे हैं. But that was the best time we found after consensus. So in the future, if you have any questions regarding training, assessments, audits, external audits, internal audits, feel free to contact me. We'll be more than happy to work with you guys for your company, for your transition, and for any other projects or any assignments. Okay. How much is the cost for the transition exam? It's pretty nominal, I can say. It's very nominal. So usually we have two fee structure, and this is not coming from us, actually, it is coming from PECB. So one is, so basically they have divided into different countries. So for Asia Pacific or Asian countries, it's a little less. And for the ones which is like US, Europe, Canada, Australia, that's a different pricing structure. So let me know where are you from, and accordingly I can give you the price. But हमारी उसमें ऐसे से कोई हम बिल्कुल कॉस्ट टू कॉस्ट बेसिस पे ऑफर करते हैं, हम अपना मार्जिन उसमें बहुत कम रखते हैं, एंड Shizak bhai can vouch on this one. So it depends कि आप कहाँ से हो, just let me know by WhatsApp and then I can tell you the exact price. Okay? But don't worry about the pricing. Imran said only one thing for new who are new interested in CISA and CISM and have no prior knowledge about auditing. Imran, that's a different topic. I would say maybe we can keep it for some other time. But just to give you an idea, again, this is a very common question come to us. Okay, we want to go with CGIT or CISA, CISM करना है, what is the starting point? क्योंकि CISA, CISM एक तो time consuming है, उसमें बहुत सारा knowledge है. I've been with ISACA for last 7-8 years on their board member, advisory committees, etc. But I can tell you CISA, CISM are pretty, time consuming. मेरी उनके लिए यही सजेशन होती है कि यू स्टार्ट विद आईएसओ स्टैंडर्ड्स. उससे आपको दो बेनिफिट होते हैं. एक तो ये कि यू गेट द बेसिक्स from auditing point of view, let's say, or from a security standpoint. And secondly, it's a quick win. मैं इसलिए नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि मैं ऑफर करूँ. You can go with any company, any certification body. This is your choice. But at least that gives you the confidence. Plus, it gives you the basics. And those basics then help you in your CISA, CISM, CGIT, or even in C-Risk. मैंने जब अपना CGIT किया था, I did the same approach. So I did COBIT first, foundation, assessment, and implementation. And that helped me in my CGIT, because CGIT का जो 40% जो material है, that is the explanation of COBIT framework. So that gave me a booster kind of thing, plus a kind of confidence that, okay, this is something which I have already covered. And same goes with CISA, CISM. I have seen so many people, they start from ISO and take those certifications, ISO key, and then they immediately jump on CISA, CISM, and then it becomes pretty easy for them. But again, it's your choice. Maybe somebody else can give you better guidance on this one. But if I have to go, I'll take this route for CISA and CISM. No worries. Right. Thank you very much. Let me see if Shizak bhai is here. Otherwise, yep, we'll wrap up this session. Again, thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop me an email or contact me on WhatsApp. Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum and Hafiz.